So the robotaxi event just ended. Elon Musk totally pulled the rug on Tesla stock for the short term. The long run, there's some crazy things that I think could happen for Tesla. I'm going to give you my 2030 price target in just a little bit. But before we get to 2030, the next 1 to 2 years, I think the Tesla stock is going to be a complete nightmare. I think that Elon pulled the rug. And then after I play the recap video of the robotaxi event for Tesla, we're going to go into my $819,000 trading account. I lost $9,000 today, all because of Tesla stock. I have some huge plays on Tesla, but the 2-year return on a portfolio, we're at $557,000. We're totally crushing it. But the short term versus the long term for Tesla, it's two totally different plays. So we're going to separate that. I'm going to break down what I'm going to do in the short term, and I'm going to break down what I'm going to do in the long term. So I'll play the highlights of the robotaxi event right now. After that video, we're going to go deep into this portfolio. I'm going to show you all the plays that I have open on Tesla right now. I'm going to show you my 2030 price target. So here we go. So that right there was a robotaxi that Elon Musk just got into. It's a 2-seater, no steering wheel, no brake pedals, no gas pedals. It's pretty crazy. The future is coming, but it's not going to come for a few more years. Elon said that the robotaxi is not going to come out until 2026 at the earliest. So the short term for Tesla stock is going to be bumpy because the robotaxi is not going to hit the top or bottom lines for a few more years.
As you can see, I just arrived in the robotaxi, the Cybercab, and there's 20 more where that came from. So they've been traveling. There's no people in them, as you can see. The car's just going by with no people. And we have 50 fully autonomous cars here tonight. So you'll see Model Ys and the Cybercab. All driverless. You'll be able to take a ride in the Cybercab. There's no steering wheel or pedals, so I hope this goes well.
So keep in mind that Tesla only made 20 prototypes of the Cybercab. These are not ready for mass production. So what is a big catalyst for Tesla stock that could potentially hold the stock over until the robotaxi comes out? We'll get into that in just a second, so let's go back to the event.
I think the cost of autonomous transport will be so low that you can think of it like individualized mass transit. The average cost of a bus per mile for a city, not the ticket price because that is subsidized, but the average price is about $1 a mile. Whereas the cost of Cybercab, we think probably over time, from the operating cost is probably going to be around 20 cents a mile. And price, including taxes and everything else, probably ends up being 30 or 40 cents a mile. So yes, and you will be able to buy one.
So the people definitely in the crowd are excited to be able to buy a robotaxi. Honestly, myself, I will buy a bunch of them. If they make money, I will buy a crap ton of robotaxis, but that's not going to come for a few more years down the road. But when that does happen, I think the Tesla stock is going to absolutely skyrocket. My 2030 price target is probably going to blow your mind. I'll give you a little hint right now on my price target, and there's a lot of other well-known analysts of Tesla stock that have a price target in this range too. I will say that it is in the 4-figure range. It's $1,000 plus. I'm going to go into that in just a second for you guys.
We expect the cost to be below $30,000. We do expect actually to start fully autonomous, unsupervised FSD in Texas and California next year. And that's obviously, that's with the Model 3 and Model Y. And then we expect to be in production with the Cybercab, which is highly optimized for autonomous transport in probably, well, I tend to be a little optimistic with timeframes, but in 2026. So, yeah. Before 2027, let me put it that way.
But that doesn't matter right now. That doesn't matter for Tesla stock right now, even going into the next year, because the slow rollout of Model 3 and Model Y cars going fully autonomous in California and Texas next year, that is not enough to actually impact the bottom line of Tesla. We need something bigger. We need something sooner. We need the robotaxi to really come in 2025 instead of 2026, but it's just not coming. And right now, Tesla stock is very, very expensive. When you look at it on a price earnings ratio basis, it's trading at roughly double what Nvidia is trading at right now. Nvidia just made that massive stock move, but Tesla on a PE ratio basis is trading at roughly 80, and Nvidia is trading at roughly 40 times earnings. So even if Tesla stock were to fall by 50%, it's going to be trading for at the same valuation of Nvidia right now. So we're going to go a little bit more into that, and that's definitely going to affect what I think about Tesla stock in the short term, and then I'll give you my long-term price target.
When you get in, you'll see like it's really quite a wild experience to just be in a car with no steering wheel, no pedals, no controls, and it feels great. Something we're also doing is, and it's really high time we did this, is inductive charging. So the robotaxi has no plug. It just goes over the inductive charger and charges. So yeah, it's kind of how it should be.
So these Tesla cars, how they're trying to set it up, I feel like there's going to be like stations along the road where your robotaxi is going to go in, it's going to charge, and at the same time as it's charging, they're going to clean it up, clean out the seats, get all the trash out, disinfect the car, and it'll be ready for the next person. So there's really no human interaction that really has to happen with the car. Now they did introduce one more car, or maybe it's something else besides a car. We're going to go into that right now. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if this is really going to be a big deal for Tesla stock, but it is pretty interesting looking, so here it is right now.
Oh, and also, what happens if you need a vehicle that is bigger than a Model Y? The Robovan. The Robovan is we're going to make this, and it's going to look like that. Now, can you imagine going down the streets and you see this coming towards you? That'd be sick. So this can carry up to 20 people, and it can also transport goods. So you can configure it for goods transport within a city, or transport of up to 20 people at a time. So this is gonna, the Robovan is what's gonna solve for high density.
Elon Musk said it the best. The future needs to look like the future, and a Robovan or the Robovan, it definitely looks like the future. I don't think this is going to be a big contributor to the top or bottom line for Tesla. It is a cool car that they came out with, but Wall Street and myself was personally looking for them to not worry about the Robovan and to come out with the Tesla Model 2 that is going to launch next year. I think if they would have came out with the Model 2, where they would have said it would have came out in maybe like Q1 or Q2 of 2025, the stock would have absolutely skyrocketed, but we're not going to get a big catalyst in Tesla stock until probably 2026. So there's one last product that they showed at this event, and this product, in my opinion, is going to be the single largest increase to Tesla stock in the long run. It's going to be massive. I'm going to want one. I think that everybody else is going to want one. So here's a video right now on the next biggest product that Tesla's going to come out with. It's going to be a little bit longer until it comes out, a few more years down the road, but when it comes out, it's going to be massive. And then we'll go to my $800,000 trading account. I'm going to show you everything that's going on in there, what I just did on Tesla stock, because there's a lot of big moves and a lot of big money that could be made right now. So here we go.
It's just a robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels. And we've made a lot of progress with the Optimus, but fundamentally at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want.
All right, so heading deeper into the account, the total value of this account right here is $752,000. It's less because I have multiple Schwab accounts. So this account alone, where I actually do the trading in, it's $752K. So total gain loss in this account is $266,000. That is unrealized capital gains, and this is only capital gains on the current positions that we have open. So the cost basis on the accounts we have open right now is $482,000. This does not factor in plays that we have done in the past and then close them out. This is only the money that we have in our trades right now. This is our total cost basis. But total money that I've sent to this account in total forever is less than $100,000. So from 100K to over 800K in 5 years, that's pretty dang good. And if you want to learn exactly how I did that, I just launched a course. There's a link in the video description below. It's 30% off right now. There's only a few more days on that coupon. I literally walk you through step by step everything that you need to know about trading stock options, investing in a market, psychology of money, taxes, all that stuff I go into, and it's very, very, very cheap for what you're getting, especially with that 30% off coupon. So I'm going to give you the lowdown of how I actually went from zero to millions all in 5 years. I'm going to give you all my secrets, all my strategies in that course, so check it out. I also have a Discord group that you can get in after you get into the course where I show you all my trades in real time, all my market updates in real time. So if you're interested in that stuff, if you really want to take this serious, check out the link below for that. So heading into this account right here, so it's kind of set up weird because I sold some calls on Tesla also. So let's break it all down. We'll look at what I'm doing over here. These are my Tesla shares right here that I own straight up. I own 500 shares. So my cost basis is roughly 150, and the current price of Tesla right now is 217 bucks. So I'm still looking pretty good. I'm up $33,000 on that trade right there. But I also just recently initiated these calls that I sold on Tesla. So there's 5 right here that I sold, and there's 5 right here that I sold. It just split it up right here. It's kind of confusing to look at for some people, but it makes sense. So I own 500 shares of Tesla straight up right here, but I sold call contracts on Tesla, but I sold 10 call contracts. So technically 5 of those call contracts that I sold are covered because 5 contracts right here equals 500 shares. So I sold a 300 call for $12.20 of 2024. So currently on these calls that I sold right here, I'm up $201 here and $201 here. So I'm up like 402 bucks on those. I just initiated these calls right here. I am bearish Tesla stock in the short term. So I think it's very unlikely that Tesla stock is going to go above 300 bucks before 12/20 of 2024. So I sold some calls on Tesla. These are the 500 shares right here that I own straight up. And then you're going to see one more play that I made on Tesla right here. So you can see I sold a 170 put for 6/20 of 2025. I sold 5 right here, and it split it up, and there's another 5 right here. So I sold a total of 10 of these contracts right here, 170 put, 6/20 of 2025. I'm currently up $8,000 on this one right here and another $8,000 right here. So I'm up roughly $16,000 or $17,000 on that play right there. And that's about 54% gain. So I sold these puts right here for $30,000 total, and I can buy them back for roughly 16,000 bucks right now. So I'm making really good money on this stuff right here. And the bet that I have right here is that Tesla stock is going to stay somewhere between 170 and 300 between now and expiration date of 6/20 of 2025. So that's the bet that I made on Tesla in the short term. But the long-term bet that I have on Tesla in the long term is I have these 500 shares right here, and I plan to never sell these shares right here. I believe that Tesla is going to be one of the largest companies in the world 5 to 10 years from now. I think that robotaxi is going to be massive. I think that the Optimus robot is going to be massive. And when they bring those things to mass market, I feel like it's going to look like we're buying Tesla for pennies on a dollar right now. I think the Tesla stock is going to be far into the thousands of dollars per share. I think if you have a long-term horizon, it's okay to buy shares right now. But if you plan to buy shares and hold them for a couple years, I think there's a high likelihood that you could get smoked on Tesla stock. Because keep in mind, Tesla stock right now is trading at a PE ratio of roughly 80. Nvidia, for example, is trading at a PE ratio of roughly 40. So even if Tesla stock were to fall 50%, that sounds crazy, but a 50% drop in Tesla stock, it would be trading at a PE ratio of 40, which is the same valuation level of Nvidia. So keep that in the back of your head before you initiate new long positions on Tesla right now. If you have the anticipation of holding it for maybe 1 to 2 years, you have a high likelihood of getting smoked. I'm not saying you will get smoked, but the chances of getting smoked versus not smoked is pretty good. The smoke factor is high on that one. So don't forget about that course that I just dropped, 30% off right now for a few more days. So there's a ton of lessons on my course right here, but just going through my options blueprint part 2, you could see why my strategy explained, expected returns, favorite stocks and ETFs to use, how to find the deals, choosing a strike, choosing an expiration date, flow of money, closing out a contract, closing out the trade versus letting it go to expiration, when to take profits. I mean, there's so much stuff right here that I'm going to go through. This is just a few of the lessons right here. There's so much content in this course right here. This is less than 10% of the course right here. So if you want to learn how to trade and invest like me, I really think that you guys can reproduce my results. Of course, no guarantees. And then also you could get into my premium Discord where you can see all my live trades. Click the link below. And if you made it this far, like, subscribe. I drop a video every other day. I'll see you guys in the next one.